Hello, everyone. Welcome back to English with Aurora. I'm so happy to see you here today, and if you're new to our channel, welcome. You're in the right place to improve your English in a practical and natural way. We upload a brand new English learning video every single day to help you speak English with confidence and fluency. Today's lesson is going to be incredibly valuable because we're focusing on 120 common expressions that native speakers use every single day. These aren't just random phrases. These are the expressions you'll hear in conversations at work, with friends, at the store, in restaurants, everywhere. By the end of this video, you're going to improve not only your listening skills, but also your speaking and fluency. You'll sound more natural, more confident, and more like a native speaker. So get ready because this is going to be fun and super useful. Before we dive in, if you haven't subscribed yet, please click that subscribe button right now and turn on the notification bell so you never miss a lesson. We're here every single day to help you on your English learning journey. And I really recommend you grab a pen and paper because we're covering a lot today, and taking notes will help you remember these expressions better. All right, let's get started. Let's begin with a phrase you'll hear almost every day. How's it going? This is a casual way to ask someone how they are. It's very common among friends, coworkers, and even acquaintances. You use it when you see someone and want to start a conversation in a friendly way. It's less formal than how are you, but it means basically the same thing. Imagine you're walking into your office in the morning and you see your coworker at the coffee machine. You can say, "Hey Sarah, how's it going?" And she might reply with, "Pretty good, thanks. How about you?" You can also respond with, "Not bad, just getting started with the day." You've just started a natural conversation using a simple phrase that native speakers use constantly. Practice this phrase by using it when you meet someone you know. For example, imagine you run into a neighbor at the grocery store. You see them in the cereal aisle and say, "Oh hey, how's it going?" They smile and say, "Good, good. How are things with you?" You reply, "Can't complain, just doing some shopping." This small interaction feels natural and friendly because you're using expressions people actually use. Now, another super common expression is "what's up?" This is even more casual than "how's it going?" You use it with friends, family, or people you're comfortable with. It's a way to greet someone or ask what they're doing. Sometimes people just say it as a greeting without expecting a detailed answer. Imagine you're meeting your friend at a cafe. You walk in, see them sitting at a table and say, "Hey, what's up?" Your friend might say, "Not much, just got here." "What about you?" You respond, "Same here, I'm starving. Let's order." This is how real conversations start. Simple, quick, and natural. You can also use "what's up" when you sense something is bothering someone. For example, your friend looks worried. You ask, "Hey, what's up?" You seem upset. They might say, "Yeah, I've got a lot on my mind." You reply, "Do you want to talk about it?" Using "what's up" in this context shows you care and you're there to listen. Let's move on to another phrase you'll use all the time. Long time no see. This expression means you haven't seen someone in a while. It's friendly and shows you're happy to see them again. You use it when you meet someone after weeks, months, or even years. Imagine you're at a party and you see an old friend from college. You walk over with a big smile and say, "Oh my gosh, long time no see. How have you been?" They reply, "I know, it's been forever. I've been great. How about you?" You say, "I've been good. We should catch up properly. Let's grab coffee sometime." This phrase makes the reunion feel warm and genuine. Another way to use it is when you see a coworker after a vacation. You walk into the office and say, "Hey Mark, long time no see. How was your trip?" He responds, "It was amazing. I'll tell you all about it." This simple phrase reconnects you and opens the door for conversation. Now let's talk about "I'm good." This is one of the most common responses when someone asks how you are. It's short, simple, and natural. You use it in almost any situation, formal or informal. Imagine someone asks, "How are you today?" You reply, I'm good, thanks. How about you? It's polite, positive, and keeps the conversation flowing. You can also add more detail if you want. For example, I'm good, just a bit tired from work. Or I'm good, really excited about the weekend. You can also use it to decline an offer politely. For example, someone offers you more food. They say, would you like some more cake? You respond, I'm good, thank you. That was delicious. This shows appreciation while gently saying no. Another essential phrase is I'm sorry. This isn't just for big mistakes. Native speakers use it all the time for small things. You use it to apologize, to show empathy, or even to politely interrupt someone. Imagine you accidentally bump into someone on the street. You immediately say, oh, I'm sorry. Are you okay? They say, no worries, I'm fine. You smile and continue walking. It's a quick way to show you care and acknowledge the mistake. You also use I'm sorry to express sympathy. For example, your friend tells you their pet is sick. You say, I'm so sorry to hear that. I hope they get better soon. This shows you understand and care about their feelings. Let's practice these phrases together in a short conversation. Imagine you're meeting a friend you haven't seen in months. You say, hey, long time no see. How's it going? Your friend replies, I'm good, thanks. It's been so busy lately. You say, I know what you mean. What's up with you these days? Your friend responds, not much, just working a lot. How about you? You say, same here. We should grab coffee soon and catch up. Your friend says, absolutely. Let me know when you're free. This conversation uses 5 common phrases that flow naturally together. Now let's keep going. Another phrase you'll hear every day is excuse me. You use it to get someone's attention politely, to apologize for interrupting, or to get past someone in a crowded place. Imagine you're in a store and you need help finding something. You walk up to an employee and say, excuse me, could you help me find the batteries? They smile and say, of course, follow me. It's a polite way to start the interaction. You also use it when you need to get through a crowd. For example, you're on a busy train and it's your stop. You say, excuse me, I need to get off here. People move aside and let you pass. It's respectful and effective. Another useful phrase is no problem. This is a casual way to say you're welcome or to tell someone that something isn't an issue. You use it when someone thanks you or apologizes to you. Imagine a coworker says, thanks for helping me with that report. You reply, no problem, happy to help. It sounds friendly and natural. You can also use it when someone apologizes. They say, sorry I'm late. You respond, no problem, don't worry about it. This puts them at ease. Let's talk about another common expression. Thanks a lot. This is a simple way to thank someone. You use it in everyday situations to show appreciation. Imagine someone holds the door open for you. You smile and say, thanks a lot. They say, you're welcome. It's quick, polite, and friendly. You can also use it sarcastically if something goes wrong, but usually it's sincere. Another phrase is I appreciate it. This is a bit more formal and heartfelt than thanks a lot. You use it when someone does something meaningful for you. Imagine your friend helps you move to a new apartment. At the end of the day, you say, I really appreciate it. I couldn't have done this without you. Your friend replies, anytime, that's what friends are for. This shows genuine gratitude. Now let's look at take care. This is a warm way to say goodbye. You use it when you're leaving or ending a conversation, especially with people you care about. Imagine you're finishing a phone call with your mom. You say, all right, Mom, I've got to go. Take care. She says, you too, sweetheart, talk soon. It feels caring and affectionate. You can also use it with friends, coworkers, or even acquaintances. For example, you're leaving a meeting and you say to your colleague, see you tomorrow. Take care. They reply, you too. It's friendly and shows you wish them well. Another phrase is see you later. This is one of the most common ways to say goodbye. You use it when you expect to see the person again soon, but it can also just be a casual farewell. Imagine you're leaving work for the day. You wave to your coworkers and say, "All right, everyone, see you later." They respond, "See you? Have a good evening." It's simple and natural. You also use it with friends. For example, you're leaving a restaurant after lunch. You say, "Thanks for meeting up. See you later." Your friend says, "Yeah, let's do this again soon." This keeps the tone light and friendly. Let's move on to "I'm just kidding." You use this phrase when you make a joke and want to make sure the other person knows you're not serious. It's important because it prevents misunderstandings. Imagine your friend is wearing a funny hat. You say with a smile, "Nice hat." Are you going to a costume party? They look confused, so you quickly add, "I'm just kidding. It looks great." Your friend laughs and says, "You got me for a second." This keeps the mood playful. Another phrase is "that makes sense." You use it to show you understand something or agree with someone's explanation. It's very common in conversations and meetings. Imagine your coworker explains a new process at work. They say, "We're doing it this way to save time." You nod and reply, "Oh, that makes sense. Thanks for explaining." This shows you're listening and you get it. Now, another essential expression is "I'm not sure." You use it when you don't know something or you're uncertain. It's honest and natural. Imagine someone asks you, "Do you know what time the meeting starts?" You reply, "I'm not sure. Let me check my email." This is better than guessing or giving wrong information. You can also use it when you're undecided. For example, a friend asks, "Do you want to go to the beach or the mountains this weekend?" You say, "I'm not sure. Both sound good. What do you prefer?" This keeps the conversation open. Let's practice these phrases in a conversation. Imagine you and your coworker are discussing plans for lunch. You say, "Hey, do you want to grab lunch together?" Your coworker replies, "I'm not sure. What time were you thinking?" You say, "Maybe around noon." "Does that work?" They respond, "That makes sense. Let me just finish this task first." You say, "No problem. See you then." They reply, "Sounds good. See you later." This short conversation uses multiple common phrases and sounds completely natural. Let's continue with more expressions. Another one you'll use often is "it depends." This means the answer isn't simple and changes based on the situation. Native speakers use it all the time. Imagine someone asks you, "Do you like waking up early?" You think about it and say, "It depends. If I have something exciting planned, yes. But on a regular workday, not really." This gives a thoughtful answer. You also use it in decision-making. For example, a friend asks, "Should we take the bus or walk?" You reply, "It depends on the weather. If it's nice, let's walk. If it's raining, let's take the bus." This shows you're considering different factors. Another useful phrase is "I have no idea." This means you really don't know something. It's more emphatic than "I'm not sure." Imagine your friend asks, "Why is the store closed today?" You look confused and say, "I have no idea. It was open yesterday." They say, "Maybe it's a holiday?" You reply, "Could be. Let me check online." This shows genuine uncertainty. Now let's talk about "I guess so." You use this when you agree with something, but you're not completely enthusiastic or certain about it. It's a bit hesitant. Imagine your friend suggests a movie you're not excited about. They say, "Should we watch this one?" You reply, "I guess so. If you really want to." They pick up on your tone and say, "Or we could watch something else." You're more interested. You say, "Actually, yeah. Let's find something we both like." This phrase communicates your feelings honestly. Another common expression is "I mean." You use this to clarify or add more detail to what you just said. It helps you explain yourself better. Imagine you're talking about your day. You say today was okay. I mean, nothing bad happened, but nothing exciting either. This adds nuance to your statement. You also use it to correct yourself. For example, you say, "I'll be there at 5. I mean 5:30, sorry." This shows you're being precise and thoughtful. Let's look at another phrase. Native speakers use this constantly, sometimes without even realizing it. You use it to check if the other person understands or agrees, or just as a filler while you think. Imagine you're describing a restaurant to a friend. You say, "It's that place downtown, the one with the red awning." Your friend says, "Oh yeah, I know which one you mean." This phrase helps you connect and confirm understanding. Another essential phrase is kind of or sort of. These mean somewhat or a little bit. You use them to soften statements or show something isn't completely true. Imagine someone asks, "Are you tired?" You reply, "Kind of. I didn't sleep great last night." This is more natural than just saying yes or no. You also use it to be less direct. For example, someone asks, "Do you like your new job?" You say, "It's kind of stressful, but I'm learning a lot." This gives an honest but balanced answer. Now let's talk about for sure. This means definitely or certainly. It's an enthusiastic way to agree with something. Imagine your friend asks, "Are you coming to the party on Saturday?" You reply with excitement for sure. "I wouldn't miss it." They say, "Great, it's going to be fun." This shows strong commitment. You can also use it to confirm something. For example, someone says, "This restaurant has the best pizza in town." You reply, "For sure. I come here all the time." This shows strong agreement. Another phrase is "sounds good." You use this to agree with a plan or suggestion. It's casual and positive. Imagine a colleague suggests a meeting time. They say, "How about 3 o'clock?" You reply, "Sounds good. I'll see you then." It's quick, easy, and friendly. You also use it when making plans with friends. They say, "Let's meet at the coffee shop at 10. You respond, "Sounds good. See you there." This confirms the plan without being overly formal. Let's practice with another conversation. Imagine you're planning a weekend trip with friends. You say, "Should we leave early Saturday morning?" Your friend replies, "I'm not sure." "What time were you thinking?" You say, "Maybe around 8. Another friend chimes in, "It depends on traffic. If we leave at 8, we might hit rush hour." You respond, "That makes sense. How about 9 instead?" Your first friend says, "Sounds good to me." The other friend agrees, "For sure. Let's do 9. You conclude, "Perfect, I'll drive." Everyone replies, "Thanks a lot." This conversation flows naturally and uses 8 common expressions. Let's keep going. Another phrase you'll hear everywhere is "I'm down." This means you're willing to do something or you agree to a plan. It's very casual and common among younger people, but everyone understands it. Imagine your friends are deciding what to do tonight. One says, "Anyone want to get pizza?" You reply enthusiastically, "I'm down. Pizza sounds great." Another friend says, "Me too. Let's go." This shows you're agreeable and easygoing. Now let's look at hang out. This means to spend time together casually, usually with friends. You use it all the time to talk about social plans. Imagine you text a friend, "Do you want to hang out this weekend?" They reply, "Sure. What did you have in mind?" You say, "Maybe grab coffee or see a movie?" They respond, "Sounds good. Let's hang out Saturday afternoon." This is how plans naturally come together. Another common phrase is catch up. This means to talk and share what's been happening in your lives, especially if you haven't seen each other in a while. Imagine you run into an old friend. You say, "We should catch up sometime. It's been too long." They agree, "Definitely. Let me give you my number." You exchange contact information and say, "I'll text you and we'll set something up." This phrase shows you value the relationship and want to reconnect. Let's talk about make it. This means to arrive somewhere or to successfully do something, often when it's challenging or uncertain. Imagine you're invited to a party but you're not sure about your schedule. The host asks, "Can you make it Friday night?" You reply, "I think so. I'll let you know for sure tomorrow." This is much more natural than saying, "Can you come?" or "Can you attend?" You also use it when you're running late. You text your friend, sorry, traffic is terrible. I'll make it just 15 minutes late. They respond, no worries, see you soon. This keeps everyone informed. Another useful expression is give it a shot. This means to try something, especially something new or challenging. Imagine a friend encourages you to try a new sport. They say, you should come play tennis with us. You hesitate and say, I've never played before. They reply, just give it a shot. It's fun and we're all beginners anyway. You agree, okay, I'll give it a shot. This phrase shows you're willing to try despite uncertainty. Now let's look at figure out. This means to solve something or understand something through thinking or effort. Imagine you're working on a difficult project. Your coworker asks, have you figured out how to fix the problem? You reply, not yet, but I'm working on it. I should figure it out by the end of the day. This shows you're actively problem solving. You also use it for decisions. For example, a friend asks about your vacation plans. You say, I haven't figured out where I'm going yet. There are so many options. They respond, take your time. You'll figure it out. This is encouraging and supportive. Another common phrase is deal with. This means to handle a situation or problem, often something difficult or unpleasant. Imagine you're stressed about work. A friend asks, how are things going? You sigh and say, honestly, I'm dealing with a lot right now. My boss keeps giving me extra projects. Your friend sympathizes, that sounds tough. Hang in there. This phrase expresses that you're managing challenges. Let's talk about come up with. This means to think of an idea or solution. Imagine you're brainstorming for a group project. Your teammate says, we need a good topic. Any ideas? You think for a moment and say, I can't come up with anything right now. Let's each think about it tonight and share ideas tomorrow. Another teammate agrees, good idea. I'm sure we'll come up with something great. This phrase is perfect for creative or problem-solving situations. Now let's practice these phrases together. Imagine you and your friends are trying to plan something fun. You say, what should we do this weekend? One friend suggests, how about hiking? Another responds, I've never been hiking. The first friend encourages, just give it a shot. It's beautiful up there. The hesitant friend agrees, okay, I'm down. What time should we meet? You chime in, let's figure out the details tonight. Can everyone make it Saturday morning? Everyone agrees, sounds good. Another friend adds, we should hang out more often. This is fun. You smile and say, for sure. Let's make it a regular thing. This conversation uses multiple expressions naturally and shows how they work together in real life. Let's continue with more expressions. Another one is get going. This means to start moving or to leave. You use it when it's time to begin something or depart. Imagine you're at a friend's house and you notice the time. You say, oh wow, it's already 9. I should get going. Your friend says, already? Time flew by. You reply, I know, but I have an early morning tomorrow. Thanks for having me over. This is a polite way to say you need to leave. You also use it to motivate yourself or others. For example, you have a busy day ahead. You say to yourself, okay, time to get going. I have a lot to do today. This phrase gives you momentum. Another useful phrase is run late. This means to be behind schedule or not on time. Imagine you're stuck in traffic and you call your friend. You say, hey, I'm running late. I'll be there in about 20 minutes. They respond, no worries, take your time. This keeps everyone informed and shows you're considerate. Let's look at hold on. This means to wait for a moment. You use it when you need someone to pause or when you need a second to do something. Imagine you're on the phone and someone at your door knocks. You say to the person on the phone, hold on a second. Someone's at the door. You quickly check who it is, come back and say, sorry about that. Where were we? This is polite and natural. You also use it when you're thinking or checking something. A friend asks you a question and you say, hold on, let me think about that. This gives you time to formulate a good answer. Another common expression is never mind. You use this when something is no longer important or when you decide not to explain something. Imagine you start to ask your coworker a question, but then you find the answer yourself. You begin, "Hey, do you know where the?" "Oh, never mind, I found it." They smile and say, "Okay, great." This saves time and shows you figured it out. You also use it when you realize something isn't worth discussing. For example, you start to complain about something small, then stop yourself and say, "Actually, never mind. It's not a big deal." This shows maturity and perspective. Now let's talk about go ahead. This means to proceed or to give someone permission to do something. Imagine you're in line at a coffee shop and someone asks if they can go before you because they're in a hurry. You say kindly, "Sure, go ahead." They thank you, "Thanks so much, I really appreciate it." This is courteous and helpful. You also use it to encourage someone to speak. In a meeting, your colleague seems hesitant to share an idea. You say, "Go ahead, we'd love to hear your thoughts." They feel encouraged and share their idea. This creates a supportive environment. Another phrase is keep in touch. This means to stay in contact with someone, usually when you're saying goodbye or when someone is moving away. Imagine a coworker is leaving for a new job. On their last day, you say, "It's been great working with you. Let's keep in touch." They agree, "Absolutely. I'll send you my personal email." You exchange information and wish them well. This maintains the relationship beyond work. Let's look forward to. This means you're excited about something that will happen in the future. Imagine you're ending an email to a new client. You write, "Thank you for choosing our services. We look forward to working with you." This sounds professional and positive. You also use it in personal contexts. A friend invites you to their birthday party. You respond, "Thanks for the invitation. I'm really looking forward to it." This shows enthusiasm and appreciation. Another useful expression is used to. This means something was true in the past but isn't true now. Imagine you're talking about your childhood. You say, "I used to play soccer every weekend when I was younger." Your friend asks, "Do you still play?" You reply, "No, not anymore. I don't have as much time now." This explains how things have changed. You also use it to talk about past habits. For example, "I used to drink coffee every morning, but now I prefer tea." This shows evolution in your preferences. Now let's talk about by the way. You use this to introduce a new topic or to mention something additional that just came to mind. Imagine you're chatting with a friend about weekend plans. After finalizing everything, you remember something and say, "Oh, by the way, did you hear that the new restaurant downtown finally opened?" Your friend perks up, "No, I didn't. We should check it out." This transitions smoothly to a new subject. Let's practice these expressions in a longer conversation. Imagine you're finishing up a lunch meeting with a former colleague. You check your watch and say, "Oh, I should get going soon. I have a meeting at 2 and I don't want to run late." Your colleague nods, "Of course, this was really nice. We should keep in touch." You agree, "Absolutely. I really enjoyed catching up. By the way, are you still working on that project you mentioned?" They reply, "Actually, I used to work on that, but I've moved to a different department now." You respond, "Oh, interesting. Well, I look forward to hearing more about it next time." They smile, "For sure. Let me know when you're free to hang out again." You stand up and say, "Will do. Take care." They reply, "You too? Safe travels." This conversation demonstrates how naturally these phrases flow together in real interactions. Let's continue building your expression toolkit. Another phrase you'll use constantly is check out. This means to look at something or examine something, and sometimes it means to leave a hotel. Imagine you find an interesting article online. You send it to your friend and say, "You should check this out. It's about that topic we were discussing." Your friend replies, thanks. I'll check it out tonight. This is casual and common. You also use it to suggest places. For example, check out that new cafe on Main Street. Their pastries are amazing. This is a friendly recommendation. Another common expression is come over. This means to visit someone at their home. Imagine you're talking to a friend on the phone. You say, what are you doing tonight? Want to come over? We can watch a movie. Your friend responds, sure, that sounds great. What time? You reply, any time after 7 works for me. They confirm, perfect. I'll come over around 7:30. This is how casual plans are made. Now let's look at find out. This means to discover information or learn something you didn't know before. Imagine you're curious about something at work. You tell your coworker, I'm going to find out when the next team meeting is. Your coworker says, let me know when you find out. I need to plan my schedule. You agree, will do. This phrase shows active seeking of information. Another useful phrase is in case. You use this to prepare for a possibility or to explain a precaution. Imagine you're lending your friend an umbrella. You say, take this, just in case it rains later. Your friend thanks you, good thinking. Thanks. This shows you're thoughtful and prepared. You also use it to give backup information. For example, here's my phone number in case you get lost. This provides security and planning. Let's talk about as soon as. This means immediately after something happens. Imagine your boss asks for a report. You reply, I'll send it to you as soon as I finish it. Your boss says, perfect, thank you. This shows promptness and reliability. You use it in personal contexts too. A friend asks when you'll arrive. You text, I'll call you as soon as I land. This keeps them informed with clear timing. Another essential expression is at least. You use this to point out a positive aspect in a negative situation or to indicate a minimum. Imagine your flight is delayed. You're frustrated, but you say to your travel companion, well, at least we're not stuck outside in the rain. We can wait here comfortably. This reframes the situation positively. You also use it for minimums. For example, someone asks how long something will take. You reply, at least 2 hours, maybe more. This sets expectations. Now let's look at no wonder. This means something makes sense now that you know the reason. Imagine your friend tells you they've been working 12-hour days. You respond, no wonder you're so tired. That's exhausting. This shows understanding and empathy. You also use it when something is explained. For example, your plant is dying and you realize you forgot to water it. You say to yourself, no wonder it looks so bad. I haven't watered it in weeks. This connects cause and effect. Another phrase is so far. This means until now or up to this point. Imagine someone asks how you like your new job. You reply, it's been great so far. Everyone's really friendly and the work is interesting. This indicates your experience up to the present moment. You use it to report progress too. For example, how's the project going? You answer, so far, everything's on schedule. This gives a status update. Let's talk about turnout. This means how something ends or results, often differently than expected. Imagine you were worried about an event. Afterward, a friend asks how it went. You reply with relief, it turned out really well. I was nervous for nothing. This describes the outcome. You also use it for surprises. For example, I thought the movie would be boring, but it turned out to be really good. This shows contrast between expectation and reality. Now let's practice these phrases in context. Imagine you're texting back and forth with a friend about weekend plans. You write, want to come over Saturday? I'm thinking we could check out that new streaming series everyone's talking about. Your friend responds, sounds good. What time? You reply, anytime after 6. I'll make dinner. By the way, bring a jacket in case it gets cold. We might sit on the patio. Your friend writes back, perfect. I'll let you know as soon as I'm on my way. You respond, great. So far, it looks like good weather. Should turn out to be a nice evening. Your friend agrees for sure. Looking forward to it. See you Saturday. This exchange shows how these expressions create natural, flowing communication. We're making great progress. You're learning expressions that will transform your everyday English. Remember, the key is to start using these in your own conversations. Don't worry about being perfect. Native speakers use these phrases naturally because they've practiced them thousands of times. You're on the same path. Every time you use one of these expressions, you're getting closer to speaking fluently and confidently. Keep practicing, stay consistent, and you'll be amazed at how quickly you improve. If you've made it this far, thank you so much for sticking with me through this lesson. I know we covered a lot today, but that's because these expressions are so incredibly useful. I want you to have as many tools as possible to communicate naturally in English. Remember, we upload new videos every single day, so make sure you're subscribed and you have notifications turned on. Tomorrow we'll have another practical lesson waiting for you. Before you go, please hit that like button if you found this helpful. It really helps other English learners find this content. And share this video with anyone you know who's working on their English. We're building a community of learners here, and you're an important part of it. Practice using a few of these expressions today. Maybe start with how's it going or sounds good. Use them when you're texting, speaking, or even just thinking in English. The more you practice, the more natural they'll become. You've got this. You're doing an amazing job, and I'm so proud of your commitment to improving your English. Keep practicing, stay motivated, and I'll see you in the next one.